Hi! Welcome back, dreamers. Welcome back to episode 5 of Severino Snakes. Today, instead of the nice hot chocolate that I was enjoying in the last video, we're eating breakfast while looking at this video because I need comfort food while I watch these videos because watching these videos is a very stressful thing. So, if you're watching this, a little bit of a trigger warning. Homophobia, racism, sexism, yelling, screaming, discussion, toxic masculinity, toxic parents, toxic family, etc., you name it, I've got it. We're talking about it all. Today's episode might get a little crazy. Also, I plan to have a better setup soon. I'm trying to figure out where I want to do the videos. I want to get my ring light back. My ring light broke, so I couldn't bring it with me. All that jazz. So just bear with me with this setup because I'm trying to figure out where to do it. I actually kind of like sitting in this chair. Kind of makes me feel powerful, but I need to push this back. You'll probably see me at a different angle in the next clip. But let's just jump right into it because I know I talk a lot. I know I rant a lot. Last episode was really long. It might be still long. We're doing this section in 3 parts. This is the second part of this section of this video. So we're going back into the craziness. I've gotten some feedback. A lot of you guys have been saying you really wish you could be there to like help me speak or be there to just respond on your own. And I understand the frustration because watching this back, I'm like, now I know a lot more. I've educated myself more. I've expanded my knowledge in the about the movement and the protests and the Black Lives Matter and the amount of people who've actually died, the amount of oppression that has happened, the stories, etc., etc. So I've like boosted my knowledge now because that was like in the midst of like everything being pushed so fast, so quickly, and so I like was trying to learn as much as possible. And some things were in, some things were out, some things I needed to stick more. But anyways. I know that that's something that you guys have talked about with me. Yeah, continue to give me feedback. Continue to tell me if you like this series or not. I'm obsessed with it. I am having a great time doing it. It takes me a little while to film, edit, and upload, and it's kind of frustrating as well. Like I said, I've done my comfort food with me, but we're doing good. We're getting past our past. It's very therapeutic. Let's continue. Oh, I'm sorry for what's about to ensue.
Anyway.
Wait, hold on. Why don't you think that we can have free college in this country? Because you just said hold on. I just wanted to quote you. You said a lot of people in Haiti are uneducated and unable to, I guess, gain jobs from that, and et cetera, et cetera. So why can't we in America get people free college?
Okay, because I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Because the colleges don't want that, okay? Because the way the colleges are set up now, they're making a hell of a lot of money.
Okay, well colleges aren't people. So like we as a government, as a federal government can just give that.
I get that, but here's the issue. Anything you give has to be paid by somebody.
Okay, we pay it.
Huh?
We pay, that's what I'm saying. We already earn enough money. We already have enough money in the system to pay for said college.
I get that, but here's what happens. And that's the reason why, what you're asking will probably never occur in my lifetime.
So just so everybody knows, my dad's actually 67. So for my age, hi, if you don't know, I'm 20 years old. I have a father who is 67, or who is about to be 67 on October 1st. He was born in 1954, and his lifetime is a little bit different than my lifetime. His generation is a lot different than my generation, you know? So I just want you to keep that in mind as we continue to watch that video. If anybody wants to know, my mother's turning 56 next year, 57 next year. They're like a 10, 11 year difference, so yeah.
And the reason why is colleges don't want it because because they want to be able to control this big bucket of money themselves, okay? They want to control it. Most of their funding comes from 2 sources. It comes from the government, some of it, the students, and then alumni that give back to the colleges. So the issue is if you streamline college the way I believe it should be set up, then I think you could fund the colleges in the United States without any challenge or any issues. But the problem is you always got politics, and people want, and every time the government gets involved, what traditionally happens is instead of finding the most effective and efficient way to do something, they don't. A perfect example is the post office. The post office is losing billions of dollars a year. And who pays for that? We do. We're paying for the post office to lose money, okay? The reason why is the way the post office is set up, they're not competitive to FedEx. Think about that, FedEx, UPS, all those make big bucks. They're making a hell of a lot of money, whereas the post office is losing money.
Why?
Well, it's because
people use the post office all the time.
Because the bureaucracy of the post office, we got to have so many of these people working and all that kind of stuff, and because they won't restrict things that would help them to balance it. So to give you an example, how much does a stamp cost? 50 some cents or something? Anyway, let's say it's 50 cents. I think it's a little bit more than that. So if it was private, okay, so if you could say, okay, U.S. Post Office, moving forward, you got to pay for everything. We're not going to help you anymore. It's all yours. Well, what happened is they built a system similar to FedEx and UPS to ensure that they were profitable. Part of it would be, to me, one of the things I think you could do is the postage stamps, okay? You could do this, what I'm about to say, locally or the United States. Sell advertising. So you get stamps that have McDonald's on it. McDonald's will probably pay big bucks or a lot of money to have postage stamps with McDonald's. Why? Because every time somebody puts a stamp on it, it's McDonald's. So my point on the government is there's very few things the government has learned to do well without a lot of government waste. And that's the reason why who was it? Eisenhower, Dwight Eisenhower, Republican, ex-general in World War II. Eisenhower said, look, we should have a large standing army because it always is a threat. It's always a threat because if it gets disenchanted, the army can take over the United States. They'd have a hard time because of our Second Amendment rights. There's enough people with guns in the United States, they would have a hard time taking over. But anyway, Eisenhower believed in small armies, but big deterrence. So his would be, okay, we've got these nuclear weapons, and we've always had, don't play with us or we'll nuke you.
I moved closer to the computer so I could understand the things that he was talking about. But now we're like 5 minutes into the actual clip of the video. And I have absolutely zero idea of where we went, of what direction we're going in. I have no idea what he's talking about. I have no idea where he's going. I don't understand a single thing that he's saying. All I know is he said something about the post office and stamps and like McDonald's buying the stamps, or like a company could buy the stampage and the funds would go to them. I don't understand at all. The one thing I do know about this is that we do need to save the post office. So that's a longer video to talk about if I'm going to talk about that, but I'm not going to do that in this video because that would take too much time. But we need to save the post office, which is really ironic that we're talking about it in this video. But let's try and get back on track and see where we're going.
That's basically his philosophy. We're not going to build it, we're not going to have this big, but instead, what have we done? No one listened to Eisenhower. And with every president, we keep funding more and more money. We go in fighting wars we shouldn't be fighting in Afghanistan and all those things. And so one reason I bring that out is what you were talking about, is if we could stop doing some of the stupid stuff, we could bring that money home and be able to do some of the things you're talking about. So, no, do I think we should be able to have a free college education? Maybe.
Sis, don't ask yourself a rhetorical question that's meant to be rhetorical that you're supposed to know the answer to if you don't know the answer. Do I think we should have free college? Maybe. What? What is that? That's not an answer. You just gave yourself a whole speech to yourself because, let's be real, I zoned out twice. I really was like, I don't know where this is going. And now you didn't even know the answer to your own question that you tried to convince yourself of. All right, let's get back to it.
It would be nice.
Well, I also just think, like, for places like Chicago or the projects and places like that, they should be funded more.
Yeah, here's the problem. Here's the biggest, and here's where
I don't disagree with that.
we agree, but here's the part
But we have plenty of money to do so.
Well,
that's the problem, because all of the people aren't allocating the funds correctly.
But here's the challenge with the issue. Okay, so what's happening in South Chicago, and you can Google this, it is in its minority area, and it's a lot of blacks killing blacks, probably some Hispanics going in there, but it's but it's more than a cultural war. It has to do with the overall gangs that they have there, and the drugs that run rampant through the area.
Like, why do you think that is?
Well, and because unfortunately we allowed those. See, the issue now, it should have been stopped a long time ago.
Yeah, but the problem of these areas is that because
dumps.
no, well, yeah. Do you know why they're dumps?
Yeah.
I don't know why they're dumps.
Because back when they decided that they were going to get rid of segregation and all of that, they decided to keep segregation. They were going to redline states, meaning that they were going to redline areas where they could put black people and they would still be segregated from the rest of the world, get less funding, get less education, get less all of this, which is created, and it's still in America today.
That might be a result, but what you're saying is not totally accurate. The reality is,
this is the same thing with the freaking cardigan. I don't know whether to keep it backwards, forwards. I don't know what's up. I just know I'm mad. Do not tell me my information is not accurate when this is something I definitely learned. You want to know why I learned it? Because you put me through school. Do you know what I did in school? I did history lessons. Do you know also what happened? Through the 20 years that I lived with you, we moved to 5 different states. And in those 5 different states, we happened to be by Yellowstone, Gatlinburg, all these places that I learned about all of these things. You are the one that taught me this. In my classes, I was taught this. And then when all of this came back up, I wanted to remember all this information, learn more information, etc., etc. So I learned again about redlining. So no, my information is not incorrect, because it is still a thing that goes on in America. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a projects or a Southern Chicago. It would just be Chicago, and it would just be the New York City, or it would just be Brooklyn, or it would just be the Bronx. Like, it wouldn't be the projects. Okay? So this information is not accurate. It's not inaccurate. This is what I meant to say. So I don't really want to hear what happens next, because you're going to try and prove me wrong. And you're just wrong. You're dead wrong, because my information is correct.
That and my guess is, for many of these areas, blacks migrated to their own area. okay?
They were forced into those areas.
No, they weren't forced. Nobody forced them into those areas.
Yeah, they did.
No, the majority moved. They because they wanted to be together as a group. Why? Because again, they didn't trust white people.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
And there's a good reason for that. So
We brought black people here on cargo ships to be our slaves.
Yeah, I get that, and and I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, but it's still our problem.
It is a.
We can't just ignore it.
But there are no slaves in the United States.
Tell that to the women that earn less than men. Tell that to the black people that earn less than men. Talk to the gay people who earn less than straight white men. Tell that to the gay people who get fired because they're gay. Tell that to all of the women who get passed on promotion because there's a man that can do the job better. Tell that to all of the companies that have CEOs that are old, white, straight men. Or you know what? Just look in the damn mirror. Because that's what I see. Just because you don't see them does not mean they're not there. Now, the idea of slavery, in that sense, like the cotton picking slavery, yeah, it's not here. There are farmers that do that now. But the term still exists. It just looks different. Hi, open your eyes. This is 2020 America. We need to fix the issues that you don't see.
And not only that, but the most people in the United States that are on poverty level. Let's just talk about poverty level.
That's how they become.
It would be if they had what they had here in another country, in Africa, many places, South America, Haiti, they would be considered middle class or well-to-do, because they have more here in the United States than they do anywhere else in the world. Look, all you gotta do is look in Africa. Haiti. I mean, you know how they live in Haiti? They got tin roofs, and they got these little, and they built the concrete blocks, and you have a room that's
right
here to here, and you got 10 people living in there.
Okay.
And if you use the restroom, you go outside and you just do that. Okay. My point is, here in the United States, we can, and we should, look for ways to improve the lives of homeless people. Look for at how to improve the lives of everyone in the United States.
Okay, I see his point of view in this little 2 sentences that he just said about improving the lives of the homeless and improving everyone's lives in the United States. Let me talk about something for a second. It does sound contradictory for me in this thing, because it sounded like the All Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter comparison. It sounds like that for the homeless. It's like, let's fix the lives of the homeless. Let's fix the lives of all Americans. That you just said the same thing. You know what I mean? You just kind of push the homeless aside. But in this stance, I also want to bring back up the fact that you literally said that we couldn't just throw money at the homeless. Now, do I mean money, physical money? Sure, let's do it. I'm still here for it. That's 100% what I'm here for. But I also think that, could white, old, straight American men build homes for the homeless and little community centers that we could fund that also provided food and water and in turn obviously shelter, and then a place in that little small or big community where they have jobs readily available to start them out better. Why aren't we doing that more? There's plenty of land in America that Jeff Bezos especially doesn't need. Let's get those communities built. I do want to say, however, I 100% am saying all of this stuff and would 100% do it. I would never say this stuff and not do it. Like, if somebody wants to pick up this project and be like, I'm building houses for the homeless, call me. I'll be there. I'll be there in a heartbeat. Let's do it. Bet. Because these are the things that need to happen. These are the things that help all Americans. All Americans. Because guess what? If homeless people start making money, and there's no more homeless. Let's just say there's no more homeless because they're all living in these communities. They're all getting jobs. They're all starting to build their lives back up. They're all earning money, which is taxed on. Hopefully, the government knows to allocate the funds from the newly found jobs that the homeless people attained. They can get rid of all of America's debt, because that's still a big number. It needs to go this way. It's going this way. And we need to freaking fix it. And that would help you as a white, straight, male American. Now, wouldn't it?
We should specifically black people.
Yeah. Well, it's not just black.
'Cause they
You
don't-
think Hispanics have the same.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, I mean,
Or poor white people.
Yeah, and
white people have an advantage in this country.
depending on where they live.
And you don't think there are some blacks that don't have privilege? Look at all the celebrities that are black.
I want to help my mother in this sentence. Let's just repeat what she said. Look at all of the celebrities that are black. Wait for it. Look at all the celebrities that are black compared to how many celebrities are white. Look at how many celebrities that are black that can't get roles. Look at how many movies are written, produced, filmed, lighting, sound, design, set, everything are white. Look at all of those people. Don't just bring up a fact if you can't back it up. There are a lot less black celebrities than there are white celebrities. And that's in most cases for most jobs. Look at all, and those are just the people you're seeing on TV. Don't defend the people you see on TV, okay? Okay, their lives are great. There needs to be a lot more black celebrities. Yeah, I do agree. With my statement, not with hers. There should be a lot more black celebrities. There should be a lot more black people getting roles. There should be a lot more black people getting white stereotypical roles. I want to see more black people in romantic comedies. I want to see more black widows who are black. And by that I mean the Black Widow, who is played by Scarlett Johansson. She's incredible. She's an action figure. She's just who I thought of as an action icon. As a woman, I want to see more black. Hell, I want to see more black female kick butt action characters. Like, I want to see more. It makes no difference for Black Widow to be white or black. It makes no difference to be Captain America to be black or white or male or female. There's a Captain Marvel. Hell, Captain Marvel can be black or white. Just because it's written in a comic book what they look like does not mean in the movies they have to be portrayed the same. Nor does the color of their skin actually matter in their character. If it doesn't matter for their character, if it matters for the character, like if someone's playing Harriet Tubman, I swear to God, like if they're not black, like that's blackface and you're screwing up America. But not like anyone would do that, hopefully. There are people that would, but you know. However, like same thing goes with weight. Tracy Turnblad in Hairspray has to be a bigger woman. That is her story. That is what she is doing. Does she have to be white? Yes. The answer is also yes. Because she's helping to fight segregation in the 50s, or in the 60s, excuse me. And that pertains to her character. She's a perfect example of that is who she has to be. She has to be bigger and she has to be white. But besides those characters who are specifically typecast for that specific role to be played in a manner that has to do with their weight and their skin color, then they don't have to be portrayed as such in other movies. I hope that made sense. I've been talking for way too long, but you got what I mean. You understand what I mean. This argument is not sound at all. Don't just say something because you want to.
Compared to how many white people are celebrities, Mother? Compared to how many people are celebrities? You just stated that they worked hard for that job. They worked hard to be where they are.
That's
Exactly.
right. But
Exactly.
I came from a very poor family.
Okay, but you still have an advantage.
I don't believe that. I believe
That's called white privilege.
No, I don't believe. I hear what you're saying.
We are not saying you did not have a hard life. We are stating that you didn't have a hard life because the color of your skin.
That's exactly correct.
That's white privilege.
Yeah.
So you just stated that you don't think it exists, even though
No,
it does.
that's not what I said. I do believe that people are biased. I don't believe most people are racist.
It's funny how a racist would say that.
There's a difference, okay? There's a difference between being a racist and being biased. There's a big difference, okay? A racist is someone that actually hates somebody. Most people don't hate them unless you're
Just
white.
because you don't believe in the word hate, even though I do, does not mean...
I didn't say that. There's a lot of white supremacists that hate blacks.
Correct.
But there's a lot of blacks that hate whites, okay?
I doubt that.
No, I guarantee you that. You don't think that? Now,
No.
no, hold on. But keep in mind, I'm not talking about the majority. Do I believe that the majority of white people in the United States are white supremacists? Hell no. Okay? And you can't convince me otherwise.
Okay, but why are there white supremacists? Why do we still have the KKK?
Because they hate, because it's a free country, and they hate black people.
Okay, cool.
Just
We should
like-
shut them down.
Just like the Black Panthers were a black movement that hated white people and advocated for the killing of white people.
Now, I'm gonna stop it here, not in the video. I just wanted to pause for a second to apologize, I believe, for what I'm about to say, or what I think that I'm about to say. And there's no need for me to apologize. The only reason I'm apologizing is because I did not have enough information about the Black Panthers. Because as a white, straight, hetero at the time, male, I did not learn about the Black Panthers in school. I didn't know a lot about the Black Panthers, and I had a very, very, very minuscule amount of knowledge on who they were, what they did, etc., etc. Do I know about them now? Yes, because I educated myself. Do I know what they were about? Yes, I do, because I educated myself. And do I believe the statement that my father just said? Absolutely not. Now, just so we're on the same page, you can Google all of this information. Huey Newton, John Frey, all of those names are really important in, like, the talk about the Black Panther Party. The Black Panther Party was not willy-nilly killing white people. The Black Panther Party was there to what they referred to as cop watching, which basically meant they were an anti-police brutality group. Now, there were some seemingly alleged accidental killings of white people, keyword alleged, and they had a lot of firefights, etc., etc. But this party was meant to keep police brutality away. It is not anybody's fault, except for pretty much white people, especially white cops, that the people on this side for the Black Panther Party were black, and the people on this side who were cops were white. So because you think the same stance of white cops killing black people, it's still happening, still the same thing, still what we're talking about. These people were trying to help police brutality. These people were the police brutalizing this party. So these arguments here are just interesting to hear, because again, my dad thinks he's very right all the time, and this is just another stance where I disagree. We're using the extremes again of, this is what they did, this is the only thing they did, this is etc., etc. So they actually started a fund for children and getting foods. They had a lot of help to do with, like, HIV and AIDS. So don't talk about someone as if the entire thing about them is bad. well, contradictory to ACAB, I guess. But I'm just saying, like, yeah. And I'm not saying that there aren't good white cops. Hi, there's good white cops. If you look on TikTok, there's good white cops, like, whatnot. But again, they're not who we're focusing on. I'm not focused on those good white cops. Raise your hand if you're tired of my father advocating for black people, talking about their statistics and talking about their things without, like, knowing any knowledge. I am, because it's really, I don't know, it's just disheartening, like, the fact that, like, I would sit here and I have the internet and whatnot, and my dad has been working from home for 6-7 months now. He's still working from home, and to have this screen sitting in front of you, this knowledge sitting in front of you, being able to research and read, and my dad just thinks he knows so much about history, and because he grew up with it and read about it and it was his favorite subject. Fun fact, just because something's your favorite subject doesn't mean you're good at it or know everything about it. You can always learn. So to have this in front of you and not try to Google and understand and really see where all of this information is coming from. So I did not know a lot about the Black Panthers then, so I apologize for the information that might be false in the coming minutes of us talking about this. But let's continue.
Okay, so my point is, there's always been a group of crazy white people and a group of crazy black people. Now, I think the group is probably smaller on the black side because there's fewer black people in the United States than there are white people, okay? But that doesn't make, and I don't believe, I wish neither of those groups existed, because neither of them know who Jesus is, okay? Because Jesus didn't advocate for color. He advocated for a life without sin and a life about loving one another. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to love him first, love everyone else. Whether they agree with us or not, we don't have to agree, but we should.
Agree for what?
No, I'm just talking about.
No, I'm asking you.
No, I'm talking about whatever a case might. If I say I don't like red cars, and you go, I love red cars, this is a disagreement. My point is,
This isn't it, but what are you disagreeing on?
on what?
What we're talking about.
You talking about the whole Black Lives Matter?
In
I'm not
general.
disagreeing with
I didn't
you.
say you were.
Okay.
I'm saying, what do you disagree on? What are these people disagreeing on?
Who is they?
White supremacists, all of them. What are they disagreeing on? I'm asking you, because I know.
What do you? Well, white supremacists don't believe. They believe they're superior than black people.
Correct.
Black Panthers believe that they have better rights than a white person. So neither of those groups are accurate.
I mean, I
Because
think
that's
you're
not what
screwing
Christ said, huh?
Okay, never mind.
What?
No, I don't. I definitely think you're misconstruing what Black Panthers are, but that's besides the point.
Malcolm X advocated for the killing of. He advocated for whatever it took, including killing white people, to get what has to be done. Meaning, if whatever that looked like. Now, I'm not saying, again, there are racist black groups. There are racist white groups. There are probably racist Hispanic groups. And there's racist Hispanic groups within Hispanic groups.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, I know that some Puerto Ricans on one side don't like Cubans, and Cubans don't like some Puerto Ricans. Why? Because of their nationality more than anything else. A lot of Cubans believe that they're one step above Puerto Ricans, that type of thing. But anyway, you're gonna need to get back to your schoolwork. But
I have plenty of time.
Besides, I thought my schoolwork didn't matter because I thought school was useless and pointless, and a lot of the things you learn aren't going to be used in real life. Or am I wrong? Is that something you didn't just say? I don't. Maybe I'm wrong.
My point is, all I'm trying to say is I don't have a problem. I agree with anyone that believes that we should again, from a biblical standpoint, that we respect and treat each other as we would ourselves want to be treated.
Okay, and from a realism standpoint?
And then the reality is, I treat people like that. I do. You know, and what I was going to say about bias.
But you don't think that at some point that you can also be a little shady?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know what shady means. I think I try to eliminate, first of all, keep in mind that everyone has a bias.
I want you all with me. This is my favorite part of the entire video. This is my favorite part of the entire video. Just because, like, oh, you'll see why. So it's about me. They don't know I'm gay yet. They do now. But they don't know I'm gay yet. And I am about to bring up homosexuals. I'm about to bring up the topic of gay people, lesbians, like all of the category. LGBTQ+, I see you. I'm here with you. I love y'all. So I'm about to bring up that issue, and I think it's incredibly funny, incredibly awful what he says, and y'all are going to be so mad with me, and that's why I'm so excited for this part of the video, because I want you to comment down below what you feel and how you feel that I responded, because you guys, the question that I ask, the response that I say, it's immaculate, it's incredible, especially to what my dad just said of, you don't think everyone has bias? And I call him out for it. Okay, here we go, let's watch, yay.
Have you or have you not, when you've seen a gay couple kiss on TV, said that that is disgusting? Yes or no? Yes or no? I'm asking you the question, yes or no?
I'm going to answer the question.
I'm just asking you, I just asked you, it's a yes or no question.
It's disgusting, yeah.
Cool, perfect.
But keep in mind,
That's
that doesn't
homophobic.
mean that I don't believe that God loves them, and I don't believe that but that doesn't mean, from a biblical standpoint, I don't think it's biblical. Okay, so from a biblical standpoint, I have a problem with it. Okay,
It never said homosexuality is a sin in the Bible.
it's in there. In the Old Testament, it says, "Man shall not lay with man." I don't know how it can be any more blunt than that.
It also says a lot of other things, and it usually means that they're prostitutes or
No, that's just, listen, the
That's
Bible
what it
also
interprets
says,
things.
the Bible also says, in the end times, people will believe a lie, okay? So, all I can tell you from my biblical standpoint, I don't believe it to be biblically accurate and biblically okay. I'm just telling you my point of view. Keeping in mind that I love my boss, okay?
Just so we're clear, my dad is a homophobic, racist human being. And I will not excuse that. I have not spoken with him. There are things that I will explain to you of what has been said to me thus far while I was here in Colorado when we get to the episode about me being gay. But I just wanted to say that. I also want to say that what he's about to say. I'm picking up my nails. I'm cleaning them up, but I also am kind of being dramatic. His boss is gay. That's what he's about to say. And my dad, there's another clip in here. I might show it off. I don't know. This one was a question I asked him out of the blue, and it was a little unnecessary about hiring black or gay people or whatever, of like who he would choose if they all had the same education level, because I ask the hard-hitting questions, because the weather outside is not a very fun question to ask. I like to ask the deeper questions in life. So I asked my dad that question one day, and the answer wasn't super interesting. I think it was definitely still a ploy. It's that same ploy of like, I hire black people is the same thing as my friends are black. Just because your friends are black does not mean you're an advocate of the black community and what they stand for. Just because your friends are gay does not mean, just because your boss is gay, just because your friends are gay, just because your family may be gay, does not mean you're an advocate for the LGBTQ plus community. I am said LGBTQ plus part of the community. And you don't advocate for me. You've never said anything, never helped anyone out. Just because your boss is gay, that's just called kissing some.
I think he's a great guy. I like him.
I like walked away while I was listening, and I wasn't prepared to film so quickly again. But the awkward pause between him saying what he just said and da 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 da. He's a good person. Da 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 da. I like him. That's it. Nothing else. Because you're too scared to talk about it.
And my boss is gay. Okay? I don't believe in his lifestyle.
Homosexuality is not a lifestyle.
Whatever. You call it whatever you want. I call it a lifestyle. It's what people, to me, that is a lifestyle. But anyway.
This is my favorite thing that my dad says. And if you couldn't tell by the anger that I'm having right now, it is because I'm triggered so hard. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. If I hadn't made it clear, it is because I don't like when my dad says whatever. He does it a lot. You're about to hear it a lot. I think he might have already said it at one point, and I might have talked about this already, but we're gonna reiterate it because he says it a lot, and it's annoying because he says it like a child, and every time he does it, and obviously you can't see him, he does this. He says whatever, and rolls his eyes. And yes, I'm the master at rolling my eyes. So he's like, whatever. And I'm like, you know what? Not whatever. This story's not done. You didn't answer the question. Like, just stop. It's not that hard. You're not 10.
They didn't choose that.
That's whatever you want to believe. Okay?
I'm just telling you.
I don't believe that. Again, I don't believe it.
Why would people deliberately choose to be killed on the streets for being part of the LGBTQ community rather than not being killed on the streets?
Matthew, I don't want to get into this. My whole point is people make their own choices. You choose what you want in life. You can be what you want to be, but you are responsible for your actions and you're responsible for who you are. I can't control that. I can't. So my point is, when you turn 18, you're an adult. In the United States, you're an adult.
What he's about to say is that when you are 18, you turn an adult. The responsibilities you choose are your actions, etc., etc., etc. That was like a glitch in my system. That is false. That is incorrect. In America, just because you turn 18 and you can, legally drive, means absolutely nothing to anyone at this point. You are responsible for your actions. Guess what? When you come out the womb. Now, when you're younger, do your actions have more consequences? No. When you're older, they have more consequences? Probably. When you're younger, do some of the things you do, are they kind of passed on because you're younger? Yeah. If you cuss as a young person, at the age of 2 because your parent cusses and they repeat after you, is it funny? Probably. Is it bad? Yeah, you might tell them not to say that word because in school it may get them in trouble, in middle school or in elementary school. You know what I mean? But your responsibilities have consequences and your actions have consequences when you come out the womb. When you are young, you have that same responsibility. Just because you turn 18, that's a number. It does not mean how old you are. I've had this argument with plenty of people, and there's a video that I'm going to make about my age because I think it's very important, or I guess lack of importance. But it's frustrating, and people need to stop talking about ages as if there is something significant about them. We need to normalize that in life, ages don't have a milestone. By the age of 25, you don't have to have a house. By the age of 30, you don't have to have a child. Everyone's life is different. Just because you turn 18 does not mean you're a damn adult. It does not. You can be kicked out of the house at 16 and have to go get your own house. Okay? It means absolutely nothing.
What do you choose to do? What do you choose not to do? What decisions you make? Whatever decisions you don't make, you're responsible for them. You're responsible before God, and technically you're responsible for with man. In other words, if you go out and beat people up, then you're going to be held responsible for that. My whole point is, you're held responsible for whatever your actions are. So
Okay.
Your actions and responsibilities are yours. Okay, just like anyone else is. So It's just the way I believe it. So, but anyway, I won't get into it. So,
Why are you voting for Trump?
huh?
That's my last question. I'm asking a simple question.
What's that? Because
So if you don't want to answer it properly, that is
I can
fine.
answer. Why am I going to vote for Trump?
Correct.
Because unfortunately, of the two, first of all, I don't like either. So I'm being
Okay, well, I'm going to be blunt with you. Neither do I. I think we have.
I think
we
you're
have.
going to vote for Biden, which I'm okay.
Okay.
With.
Little piece of. He is not okay with it. He doesn't want me to vote for Biden. He would rather vote for me for Trump. You are a liar. I'm calling you out on it. You're a liar, and this is not a false claim. This is a very true statement. Because when I told you that I was going to vote for Biden, you said the same thing. This was in private. I said, it was like a long thing. I was like, I'm voting for Biden. And then he like came to me like later that day or later that week, and he was like, I would never, something about like, I would never, it was in conversation, I would never like copy you for your political views, etc., etc. Next thing I know, I make a claim about not understanding how like moving works during the election. Like, I didn't know if I had to do it in Florida, had to do it in Colorado for absentee ballot to go into the polling place. Do I have enough time to like register to vote in this state, etc., etc. So I was asking my dad about it, and he said, oh, I'll just get the absentee ballot, I'll get it here, and I'll make sure to vote for Trump on yours. Starts laughing. No joke, starts laughing. So tell me how that is not laughing at my political views, copying my political views, talking about my political views. Don't come at me and say that you don't care when you do. You're a little liar. Little liar.
But I think we have better choices as president. I think a lot of people think that. The only problem is there's not really a choice to write in people because it doesn't really ever happen.
Nobody else is running.
Well, there's only two choices.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, but they both have, here's the problem. Both of them, this is one argument. Both of them have sexual assault claims against them. That's why I think, obviously, I wouldn't vote for Biden, because that's awful. So, but why are you voting for Trump?
I'm voting for Trump for first of all, personally, let me put it this way. I don't like the guy. I think he's an egotistical.
Okay, so why?
Person. Because he's on the positive side, not because before all this occurred, and I still think we as a country made a mistake by shutting the country down. I do. That's just my personal opinion.
We should have shut it down earlier.
I don't know if this is an argument we're about to go on to in the next clips, but I want to talk about how funny this is to me. Again, not really funny at the time. It's still not funny as a statement. Like, again, still need to fix the issue. If you're going out without a mask, another video I probably should make. You're an idiot. You're a dipstick. You're an awful human being. You're a piece of... And you should go to jail for not social distancing and wearing masks to clubs, to restaurants, to parties, to whatever. But my dad thinks that the country shouldn't have shut down at all. And I think we should have shut down earlier, and we should have just fixed the issue. Hi, this is America. Stop normalizing COVID when other countries just got rid of it, and their old normal is still their new normal. Our old normal should still be our new normal, but because these dipsticks can go out without a mask and without social distancing, we're just normalizing COVID. Stop doing that. Stop it. You're being a piece, and we just want to go out. I want to go dancing so bad. I want to go to a karaoke bar so bad and sing. I can't do that if you're being a piece of crap. I'm not going to go do that because I know that some places are open. I'm not going to because it gives me anxiety to go out and not social distance. Like, I would be doing it, but I can't guarantee other people aren't going to, like, walk up next to me or whatever. You know what I mean? So I'm not doing it. But this argument is stupid, and I don't, like, going into the argument is just dumb because you arguing against any other side but this is just idiotic. And yeah, I'm saying that because there is only one answer. There is no there's this and this and then there's the truth. No, this is the answer. Stop it.
No, I don't believe that either. I think it's just
Why? You just want people to willy-nilly, freely walk around here dying on the dying?
Yeah. So Matthew, when we had bad years of the flu, why didn't we shut the damn country down?
When they had the Black Plague, they shut the...
That was in 1918.
This is 2020 and we're having the same problem.
No.
In a different form.
It's nowhere near as epic as that was. And
So you think that only because it should get as bad as the Black Plague to
No.
shut the country down?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, then what constitutes shutting the country
Because
down?
I don't think, number one, that it would have ever got there. Now, here's what I do believe. I do believe that we as a country should have come together rather than shut everything down and say, okay, hold on. People have got to, what you don't get is you don't understand the aspect of having to take care of your family, okay?
I don't have to understand that to understand anything else.
Pardon?
I don't have to understand how it feels to take care of a family to understand that the health of Americans is far more important than the money that they are earning.
Yeah, except for one thing.
They need to be able
People
to...
are not dying from COVID-19.
You and this most word.
Most of the people that are dying are old or have some other issue.
At this point, that's
and
debunked.
stuff. Whatever.
The old part, not the underlying condition part.
I don't know. Everything I read says most of the people that have underlining and that they're old, the older people, which means they have less immune system, basically. So, and then you have issues like New York City and these other places where you have so many people.
Okay, like dense people.
short
Okay.
place, you do need to come up with solutions. But my point,
What's the solution? Like retaining that if it's not shutting down everything and putting people in their homes?
by coming up with what we're doing now, which is social distancing.
People are Americans. They're not going to listen to these rules.
Yeah.
Hence why it's a lot easier to keep people in their homes.
Yeah.
This was filmed back in I want to say it was June? Maybe June? Maybe before that, March, April, May. May is June? It's been May, June, July, August, September. 5 months? And it's still relevant? Dude, I hate it here.
Well, anyway, I just don't think the country they should have shut the country down, and I don't believe we would have lost. I don't believe the death rate in the United States would have been, may or may not have been marginally higher than any other year that people died. That's just my belief. Now, it doesn't mean I'm right. Could be totally wrong, but it's just how I think.
But I just mean it's a life or death situation.
No, it's not.
We're choosing more death over
No,
life.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all.
But that's just a
Because
fact. 2
we
million people
lose-
died from a virus that couldn't
We
have not
3 million
existed.
people die in the United States every year.
But 2 million people have already died
no,
okay, 2 million people have been infected.
Right. Only of that 45,000, I think, have died. But if you take the 45,000 that died and start dissecting it and say how many of those 45,000 wouldn't have died anyway, but because COVID-19 came along, they just died a little faster.
Probably, a lot smaller.
Okay,
The
so
number would be a lot smaller.
so my whole point is.
Alright, I think that is enough for one day, one episode. Y'all, whoo, my god. That was so funny. This one's my favorite episode thus far, in terms of these 3 sets of videos, because I think it has the most interesting material. The gay part just kills me, because it's so blunt, it's so blatant, it's so funny to me. And you're gonna see another clip of my mom saying kind of the same thing. I love to poke the bear, because I love to see what people would say, because I know what they're gonna say. And that's kind of what I did in this video. Some things you probably were confused at, where I was like, I know what it is, and my dad would go, what is it then? I was trying to get my dad to say, trying to lead my dad to say something, or to guess the answer, or to get the answer. For example, the redlining part, I was like, I know the answer, and he was like, okay, what's the answer? And I was like, okay, well, redlining, and then I went into it. Again, what a fun video. Again, you guys, it's my leg. You can just listen to these 3 episodes as podcasts. After that, like, it's completely video. I mean, you can listen to it if you would like, but these videos are really fun to watch because you see people's faces and you hear things and you see things, and there's more intense stories coming. And yeah, I don't have much to say else on this video. Obviously it stopped at a really weird point. That is because he's about to explain why he is going to vote for Trump, and that is in the next episodes to come, or the next episode to come. That is the last piece of this video, is him explaining why he's voting for Trump. And then I think that's it. There might be a little bit more room for discussion here and there, but we'll see. There's probably about 30 minutes left, so the next episode might be really long as well. This episode's probably pretty long, but it's probably not as long as the last video, but I should probably stop talking so it isn't as long. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you on Friday. I am very excited to finish this stuff so that I can keep continuing with other clips, and the music is going to come back. I didn't want to put music in these ones specifically because I need you guys to be able to hear what he's saying, and if I put music over it, you're not going to be able to hear what he's saying. So get excited, get excited. I mean, we're in it. We're already in it. I'm already excited. Like, this stuff is so golden. And woo! All right. Remember, it all starts with an idea. Dream big, guys. I love you. Stay safe. Stay cute. Don't go outside. Black Lives Matter.